Okay, hi. So, after my previous video, in this video, I'm talking about the constructing and the test prototype actually. So that is in the design process. It is the fourth step that to construct the and test the prototype. So what is exactly a prototype actually? So why we are using to construction? So prototype is something like a realistic model, okay, but having a full size scale, and it is actually the almost the completely having the functions, every functions should be adopted for this one actually prototype. Okay, so to constructing the prototype, before that we have to, it is the final stage of the design process. Okay, so a prototype construction is the final stage. Okay, it's a final phase of the design process and an implementation. So implementation is categorized into three actually. That is the one is the testing, second one is the construction, and third one is the manufacturing. So before that implementation, I mean implementation means that here we are going to find that here we are going to find the unique solution. Already we find a unique solution for that. And also we have the detailed design report. Okay, so that with that report, we are creating a design, a prototype. We are going to construct a prototype. So moreover that actually, uh, the complementation, that is the implementation. There are a lot of methods of implementations are available. First one is the prototyping, second one is the concurrent engineering, and third one is the other distinct activities. So what about this prototyping actually? Prototyping, it means that something like we have to really make the solution. That means if you are going to construct a heater, actually, why I'm using always the heater, because I already, that in class time, during the class time, I already told about my story in my post graduation. Okay, I built a heater. You know that. I think I told you the story about it in the class. Okay, so in that heater, actually, it's a prototype. The first one is made by them, or the according to that design, according to that all values, a real model is made, and that model is known as a prototyping actually. So the prototype should be the tested, and after the successful testing, if the prototype is successfully made, then after the successful, then we will go for the production actually. Okay, then concurrent engineering and the other distinct activities. What is the other distinct activities? That means the documentation, other documentation. Like for example, if the product is the first time launching, or if the product no one has ever built, then we have to make something like a patent. We have to take some patent now. So the patent working is not the other. That part is coming to other distinct activities. Okay, and now prototyping, in detail study about the prototyping. Here the first stage of the testing and implementation. So in the case, prototyping is the first stage of testing and implementation of the our design. So you know that when a product is launched, to the customers, before that the implementation of the design should be there actually. So for suppose in a car manufacturing company, suppose a car manufacturing launching a new car, that new car, before that we have to test something na, we have to test like a car crash testing or something, like we have to test all the functions of inside the car should be tested. So for that, the first design model is known as the prototyping. So the first stage of the testing and implementation is the prototyping, and it is the first fully operational production of the complete design solution. Okay, so that means we are making a realistic model, and we will try, I mean we will check all the functions, and if a car is made, then the first car according to that design is the prototype. And in a car manufacturers, they will make some 2 3 cars in the same time, because if crash test is failure, then it's useless. So we have to analyze something more test, or conduct a more testers, then some models should be there. So 2 3 models they will already make every time, like in a case of prototyping. So the first prototype, the first but it is not for sale actually. Okay, so it is the fully operational production of the complete design solution. Our solution, if we are providing our solution, if I'm a designer, I'm giving some solution to the manufacturers, and the manufacturers made the first product according to that design, all the measurements taken, then it is the prototype, and it's not fully tested, may not be work for the operate. Or why it is to say, here it is given as a fully operational production complete design, but here it is not fully operational fully tested, because in a prototype, yeah, in the previous example, if a car is ready, or the prototype of a car is ready, but during the crash testing we don't know whether it is successful or not, so we cannot sell that car. All other functions may be ready, but in the crash testing, after the crash testing only we can provide this car to the public. Okay, otherwise the crash testing is the final step actually. So after crash testing, then only we can provide, and after that, maybe in the cases of some cars, after the crash testing they conduct many more tests also. Like for example, if the small the windows and the rain, or everything other designs are working or not, after the there's prototype. Okay, so for prototype is not for sale, and the prototype is actually so that is why we say that it is fully operational production of the complete design solution, and next step is not fully tested. So it's not fully tested, the prototype may be there, and it's a production, it is ready for the production, but it is not completely tested. Okay, then the purpose to work under the real conditions. So why the prototyping is made? To check whether this thing is work under a real conditions or not. Okay, now for example, here we are taking an example as a aircraft model. Suppose in the aircraft model, first we will make a scale model. Okay, and we will test that scale model. Exactly, the scale model is the exactly same, like, okay, in the design something, if to send a scaled model, you know that scaled model. So the scaled model is maybe the smaller one, so that one we will test it in a wind tunnel. Okay, and in the wind tunnel, all the conditions, all the other conditions we are provided inside the wind tunnel, and the realistic condition. Okay, then we will provide that conditions to inside the wind tunnel, and we'll check whether the aircraft is flying clearly or not, or what happens, it's flying manner, we will check it, and all other informations are we are recorded it, and then it is, there is no problem, then we will go for the test in the test pilot flight. So that means the test pilot fly the full size of the aircraft. Okay, of the prototype, and under the real conditions. So after this testing, the complete, that means the yeah, it is completely working or not, we will understand. Okay, so first we will make a scale model, and all the information we will record it, and then we will make a test pilot. Okay, a test pilot with a fly, that means a real model with having a same solution, I mean same scale. So the exactly the big one will fly in the real conditions. So after that, we will see, okay, any problem is there or not. If any problem is occur, we will change it, or if not, then we will go for the full scale production. So that's all about this, the construct and test prototype, and for the coming video we will do the next step. Okay, thank you.